All right, Coach, from one of the loudest venues in the NFL, there's a look at Arrowhead Stadium here in Kansas City. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Denver Broncos and the Kansas City Chiefs. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And with the play clock winding down, we're going to get a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. They'll run with a backup. This is Williams. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Second down, Prescott flushed out right. And Hill with it over the middle. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. First down for the Chiefs. Solid chunk of yardage, 17 on the play.
And let's face it, that what we just saw there, not a surprise, is it? I mean, this is what he does well. And if you don't tackle him as soon as he catches the ball, this is the end result. Big yardage afterwards.
Got the speed, the agility, so good with run after catch. And we're only in the first quarter, so they better get a wrangle and a hold on that quickly.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And what's really difficult to try and defend him is if you want to press him so that you get him on the ground quickly after the catch, a lot of times he'll just run past you at the initial point of contact, and he'll go deep.
Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
There we go, kill. There we go. Wide.
On second down, Williams. And he'll get this up past the 45 to the 47. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
The completion there winds up a wash, and it'll bring up 4th down. So they go pass on 3rd and 2. They complete it, but no gain. Should they have tried to run it?
I thought that running the ball in that situation is what they would have done because at worst case scenario, you may bring up a 4th down decision for your team. Instead now, they're not close to the first down.
A big roll of the dice on 4th and 1, but it pays off. They convert.
Well, peel back the curtain, partner. We've got a pretty good look into how they plan to play this game. Aggressive seems to be the word. Going for it on 4th down in that situation.
Yeah, opening drive. Now, we know this coaching staff, they have traits of aggression in their history, but what a start to this game. They're going for it.
Yeah, a lot of people
trying here for Bryant, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 35. And a big return will get him all the way down to the 35. They told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense. Is that how we're going to play?
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. 23 yards on the play. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. Back to throw now on 1st down. Steps away to his left. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up 2nd down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to 3rd down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level, because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. On 3rd down, that's Lindsey. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. That'll be good for 6, but now it's 4th down.
Okay, no score on that play, but this guy's been a touchdown machine all year long. You know they trust him with the football.
And his kick is good. And the Broncos, the first to grace the scoreboard. It's 3-zip. A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that happens, because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
After splitting the uprights, McManus to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. So now here are the Chiefs as their offense makes their way back out onto the field. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for.
Yeah, and wasn't it interesting in our meeting with the coaching staff that they all made sure to let us know, we know where we are right now. But the playoffs don't start tomorrow. We still got some time, and they plan on putting it together, formulating a streak, get the whole month of December still left to play. They think they can get in.
And they made it very obvious to us that there's no playoff talk in the locker room right now. It's win this game and look to next week.
Excellent focus.
This will be caught inside the 10. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. He got 29 yards that time. A first trip to the red zone for KC. This is first and goal from about the 8. They'll try and run. This is Williams. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
They get it to him running left. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. It's a pickup of 3, but still a little work to do on third and goal.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness, think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it.
A loss of a yard, and it brings up fourth. Well, you can see what they wanted to do. They wanted to set up the screen there, but it got blown up.
It's hard to run that play if you're not getting a lot of pressure at the quarterback because the space doesn't open up. They were able to read that one and slow it down and stop it before they could get a first down.
That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
And Denver getting set to take the field. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. That one good for 13 and a Denver first down. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. A good pickup there at 22. They'll look to throw now on first down. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he was unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
So second in inches after that first down completion went just shy of the marker. And they'll go on the ground. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
Second in inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on third down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first down. That's exactly what they did.
Chris Jones on the stop.
Sometimes play calls boil down to philosophy. You know you're facing one of the top 10 units against the run in the NFL. So do you decide to keep smashing against them, or do you decide to throw the ball here?
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And he's going to have the hook up to Sutton. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. Coming into the week, he's the NFL's leader in receiving yards. There's his first catch, and it's good for a first down.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
You've always been very good about checking my math. Am I correct? That's the first time that it's been incomplete when they've thrown it to him?
Yes, he had caught every other ball coming his way.
So they feel like they've got something really good going there, and they're going to continue to go there until the defense makes an adjustment and takes it away.
Well, they finally made an adjustment there. We'll see if they can build on that stop. Give him a couple on the run there, and now they're in that in-between area here on 4th and goal. And his kick is right there. It's good. And they will take the lead here in this battle of field goals. It's 6-3. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. So I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone and get you 6?
And now here comes Kansas City. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
They go play action here on 1st down. On the move to his left. And he whips that one incomplete there.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. Play fake. Here's Prescott. Out to his left. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. Well, he's been the guy. Already over 100 yards here in the first half. Could have had a lot more if he would have been able to haul that one in.
Yeah, in fact, our statistician Marvin was already handing me a piece of paper with that yardage totaled on it. He thought that catch was going to happen just as you and I did as well.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Todd Davis in there to get him for a loss of 3, and it'll be 4th down. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. This will be taken at the 10. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And the Broncos take over. First down and 10. And Denver getting set to take the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point
kicker.
Exactly. He'll put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him in contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Super toe.
And this will set them up nicely deep down in KC territory. It's a big play there for the Broncos. 54 yards. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Flushed through, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Aaron Lynch in there to sack him for a loss of 6.
I know there'll be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and end up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. Two minutes to play here in the first half. We're back to Arrowhead after this.
Over! Watch it now, Barney!
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion.
Green 39! Green 39! Gone! Over!
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
So he's been a busy man here in this first half. That's 3 field goals for him now.
And not just 3 field goals, but 3 for 3. So even though the offense has struggled a bit putting it in the end zone, they've still been able to come away with points due to his leg.
This is taken at the 3. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And the Chiefs now getting set to go. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Bryant with a catch right side. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. And a nice gain of 21 yards. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10.
There we go. 29. 26.
A first down throw for Prescott. On target over the middle to Hill. And he's got this down to the 35. The Chiefs have got the passing game rolling a bit. And another first down.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that?
26.
Prescott on first down. Rolling to his left. And his throw is incomplete. Damian Williams, the man he was looking for. And now it's 2nd down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
Now the Broncos are going to take a timeout as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime.
go. 26.
On third down, it's Prescott. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on third down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a fourth down decision.
46.
Prescott to throw on fourth. He is going to find Hill here. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. Wow, first and goal, and defensively all they can do is shake their heads. Not only did they allow the conversion, but a big play as well. Prescott from the gun. Escaping the pressure right. Hammering for the goal line. He loses the football. The Broncos say they have it. They do.
When I see a play like that, I come back to risk reward. I don't know about you, but is it worth it at that point, whatever you're going to pick up, to either take the hit, and in this case, lose the football?
So should have gone down. I mean, hindsight's always 20/20, but that's the safe play.
You're exactly right. Hindsight's really never wrong, is it? Because you can analyze it, but I think ultimately you got to look at it as a first option, taking care of the ball, getting what you can, and that's it. Don't worry about it anymore.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Gone, 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 gone.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And the catch made. This is Emmanuel Sanders. And he takes this just about a yard shy of the 20. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half.
Watch him now, Barney, Barney. Detroit, Detroit. Watch him now, Barney, Barney. Hot. Hot.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Throw left side, it's reeled in by Hamilton. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense, as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Back to throw. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. In the pocket, chucked it away. Flag comes down.
So you got to move a little bit, right? Know where you are on the field, have some awareness. Tackle to tackle. You got to get outside of that tackle box in order to get that done.
Looking to throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 22. And he's given his guys a shot for late points as they will take over in range for a field goal or maybe more. Oh, it's off the mark. Harrison, but all right, hang on. We'll jump over halftime. So we come upon halftime with the visiting Broncos taking the lead to the locker room. Broncos with a lead, and they will be receiving this kickoff here as quarter 3 is underway. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the Broncos offensive unit here as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ballgame.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Broncos first down. This quarterback now hitting on 2/3 of his passes, 10 for 15 so far. 1st and 10.
Detroit! Detroit!
They'll set up a throw. He's going to wind up and air it out. That's caught at the 25. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. A very nice pickup of 33 yards. So now 1st and 10 in Chiefs territory at the 25-yard line.
Gun! 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 Over! Over! Over!
He'll look to throw. Looking for Sanders, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Bashaud Breeland. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days. Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
And he'll be brought down, it looks like, right at the 15. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs. Now a first down carry. It's Williams. And he'll take this up only to about his 18-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying under double teams at the 1st level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the 2nd level.
Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it's going to make it 3rd down at 6.
46.
Play action now. Prescott. It's caught. Jones. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. They convert on 3rd with a gain of 22. 2 first downs have him up to the 41 now for 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Steps, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. Quarterback was hit.
To throw is Prescott. That's out to Hill, right side complete. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. He got 29 yards that time. And at this stage, down in the 2nd half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
They don't want it, fellas. They don't want it. Keep playing. There we go. 40. Gun.
2nd down, Prescott. Eluding the pressure right. And incomplete on the deep ball.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just one target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target of the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him, though. Find him. Find him.
Prescott from the gun on third. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass.
Here we go, 46. Here we go, 46.
Now Prescott on fourth down. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Derek Wolfe able to get in and run him down for a loss of 14. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10.
Yellow, yellow, yellow. Yellow.
Now it's the backup Cousins. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
Hey, Clipper. Lucky 50. Where's your hot? We're going.
Cousins on first down. Looking deep downfield. So they took a shot on first down but couldn't connect.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. Off the play fake, Cousins. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. 18 big yards on that one, and a Denver first. Under a minute to go in this third quarter as they come up 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Now a 2nd down throw for Cousins. And that's incomplete.
Well, he'd been targeted quite a bit on this drive, and finally I think the guys on the defensive side, they said no more. They slapped the double coverage on him, made it very tough for him to get the ball.
The Broncos on 3rd down, just 1 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5.
Yellow.
Play action now, Cousins. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
That's a good job there creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now since it's 4th down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3. And his kick is good. And the lead stretches to 9. It's now 12-3. So making 4 out of 4 now in the field goal department, and he's able to extend their lead.
When drives are bogged down, he's been automatic out there. So nice to have a kicker you can count on to put points on the board.
And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Chiefs offense now making their way back onto the field. And on that last drive, went for it on fourth, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on fourth down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10.
Awesome. 26.
First down, Prescott. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
46.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. He's going to rifle one deep left side. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Justin Simmons. And he'll take this back all the way up past the 45-yard line.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games. And now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10. Following the interception, Cousins. Sutton reeling it in on the left side. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. 16 yards right off the bat and a 1st down. Cousins now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. Looking for Sanders here on the deep ball. And caught by Sanders. Touchdown, Broncos. Emmanuel Sanders hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Broncos turn that interception into a touchdown. Point after, up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Now McManus on to kick this one off. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Chiefs offense, they get ready to head on the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it.
And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Reggie Ragland. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Bronco defense has a touchdown. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them into the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And out come the Chiefs now. And they just had that pick 6. I guess the only positive maybe of them returning that for a touchdown. This offense right back out onto the field to try to make up for it.
I like that because now it doesn't give them a chance to go to the bench and really settle. You know, to sit there and kind of seethe over the idea that they turned the ball over previously. Right back out there. It's almost like hopping right back on the bike after falling over. See if they can get the ball moving again.
Yeah, we'll see if they can do it here. Give him 30 yards there. So the big play moves them all the way across midfield. It's 1st and 10 from the 45.
Here we go, 46.
Prescott looks to throw on first. Flushed out right. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. That one goes for 24 yards. From the red zone now, Prescott. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Throwing again. Prescott on 2nd and 10. Flush to his right. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up 3rd down. This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10.
Here you go. Switch. Hey, 47.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Now it appears we've got a Chief moving pretty gingerly down there. We'll step aside and get an update when we return to Arrowhead. Their already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down.
Hey, 47. Here we go, 46. Here we go, 46. Here we go, 46.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. Escaping the pressure right. Going for it all. And this is going to be incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Broncos will take over on downs. And they've now made 2 trips to the red zone and still looking for their first touchdown.
Not able to punch it in, and if you're on defense, your confidence is sky high. Because mentally, you're saying, hey, you're in the red zone. We're thinking we're giving up 3. We just want to give up 6. In this case, they end up not giving up the touchdown at all. They've got to feel great about what they got done.
Credit the tackle there to Aaron Lynch.
That's it, baby. Rhino! Check! Check the backer!
And he'll get this up over the 25 to the 26. The linebacker, Anthony Hitchens, there on the stop. Charles, you said the magic number was probably right around 20 for this defense because they're facing one of the top 5 offenses in the league in terms of points scored. They've had their moments, but this offense just a little too good, isn't it?
They really are, because no matter what you do to make an adjustment on defense, they've got an answer for it.
Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. A big gain of 39 on 3rd. So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35. Now a handoff looking right. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
That's a really alert defense there, because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway.
Hey, Flipper! Where's your hot? Liz 50, here we go.
Cousins now on 2nd down. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a 1st down. Well done. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this.
Wide. Liz 50.
Cousins here to throw. And incomplete. He dropped it in the end zone.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
To throw, Cousins. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by the linebacker, Aaron Lynch. And he'll go down inside the 15 at his own 13-yard line. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the ball away from the other team. And
he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
A hit as he throws there, incomplete. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. Prescott to throw it. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. The Chiefs have got the passing game rolling a bit, and another first down. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
Eluding the pressure right. Oh, Prescott stripped, but it looks like the Chiefs are going to get it back.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Justin Simmons. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Count them now, 6 interceptions between last week and this week. Now, the 3 picks last week helped them to a win. They're in the driver's seat once more.
And they're the ones that are doing all the leading, aren't they? Right? The 3 interceptions last week, that led to a victory. 3 interceptions so far in this game, that has them out in front. We often think of the offense driving things. In this case, it's the defense.
And he's going to be brought down. Back at his own 6-yard line. Emmanuel Ogbah in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year. So after the sack, here's 2nd and 14. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he will take this up to about the 8-yard line. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for the Broncos, the win will move them to 7-2 now on the year. And they'll have another road date next week with the Detroit Lions. Meanwhile, for Kansas City, they'll lose an important one here as that drops them to 5-4 on the season. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves next week at home against the Chicago Bears. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time. Thank you, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to Oakland, California. Straight ahead, we punch the second of 2 tickets to the AFC title game, and we've got a great one in store between our visitors and the Oakland Raiders. For a berth in the AFC Championship game, off we go in the divisional round of the NFL playoffs. This is fielded a couple yards deep. Spinning away, and now running right through it. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. First carry for James Conner, and he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, you know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, it's nothing but room to run.
Little trouble thus far on their opening drive as they come up on a 3rd and 11. Shotgun snap for Rudolph. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. It'll be a gain of 4, and it'll be 4th down. A really nice catch, but bottom line, that should have gone for more yardage.
Give him a pass in the flat that allows him to get upfield. There's plenty of distance between him and all the defenders. Actually cost himself some yardage there. Yeah, they got the completion, but it could have been so much more.
And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. First carry for Christian McCaffrey. Gets this to the 24 for a gain of 4.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
On 2nd down, here's Carr. He'll drop it off to McCaffrey. Skirts by him at the 35. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. Give him a first down, 15 yards that time for the Raiders. Carr now on 1st down. This one complete to Curtis Samuel. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They go play action here on 1st down. And incomplete as he was knocked as he threw it. And it took the ball off course.
The good signal callers would never go back in the huddle and play the blame game because they need those guys to protect him. But on that last one, his offensive line, they lost their leverage very quickly, and that's why they were able to get to him and hit him as he tried to throw the football and force an incompletion.
Got him in. It's Rashawn Perriman. And he's in. Touchdown, Raiders. Rashawn Perriman, 36 yards. And the Raiders have taken the early lead. Well, we knew they had the crowd on their side. Their defense has already made a stop, and now here's an opening drive touchdown.
Yeah, how about the defense making the stop, offense feeling their momentum that they've generated, and turning it into points on their side. So now you've got a team working together, and they've got the crowd involved fully on their side in this ballgame.
And in this playoff atmosphere, that 12th man means even more. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. Rudolph going to lead the Steelers up now 1st and 10 at their own 21. Now a play fake here on first down. Sliding out of the pocket. Over the middle, hauled in by Smith-Schuster. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. He got 29 yards that time. Well, we know he's got the speed there. He needed the speed and the hands. A great catch.
And because of that speed, you have to respect it as a defender. So you have to either play off or make sure you're somehow in contact with him, and he's able to do exactly what you said. Use the speed to his advantage and go up and get the football. That's a big-time play right there.
Hurry up, here we go. 319. 319.
Here's Rudolph now on second down. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. A gain of 4 on the play, and that'll make it third down.
Detroit! Detroit! Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90. Gone, gone. Gone, gone. Leopard.
From the gun, here's Rudolph. Flushed out right. Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 30. And the return stops at the 39-yard line.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
Now a carry here for Orleans Darkwa. Finding some room at midfield. And he's going to get this into enemy territory at the 45. Now, they may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a first down.
Let's 5-man box. Go Chief. 694.
Another run, this time McCaffrey. Past the 20. A big chunk of yardage there, 37 yards.
When big runs occur, sometimes there's a sense that things were pretty easy, and that one carried them down inside the 10. But getting into the end zone now, that won't be easy at all because you're going to face different defenses and not as much real estate to work with. Will they be able to run it, or will they have to throw it in order to try and score?
And this is caught by Watkins for an Oakland touchdown. Sammy Watkins from 8 yards out, and the Raiders add 6 to their lead. Extra point from McManus is good. And it's now 14-0. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. The Steelers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early. Probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points get that 0 off the board. No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or 2 miss, but that window closed quickly. Rolling to his right. He's going to go deep for Conley. And that's caught inside the 30. It's a big play there for the Steelers. 46 yards.
In our pregame meeting, all they talked about was keeping him hemmed in and wanting him to make his throws from the pocket because they knew he was pretty dangerous if he got outside. And he just showed it right there. Pretty good arm, too.
Rudolph now to throw. Over the middle and into the the hands of his receiver, Landry. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues. A first opportunity for the Steelers in the red zone. They have a 1st and 10 at the 13-yard line. Now a toss. This is Connor. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. A great effort there. A 13-yard touchdown run. And the Steelers have now made this a one-score game. Extra point put through by Boswell. And that'll make our score 14-7. This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
Space to maneuver at the 40. And he's got room. And all the way inside the 35 before he goes out of bounds. A big play there from McCaffrey. 44 yards on the ground. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Now this time Carl throw. Throw right side is going to be caught by Samuel. Ready to go now in the second quarter. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis. It's the Raiders in possession of the football. And they've got it here with a 1st down. Into the red zone. It's Carr. Flush to his right. Oh, ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Picked off inside the 5. He was looking for Watkins that time.
I think that interception happened for 2 reasons. Quarterback gets outside the pocket and panics a little bit, and receiver doesn't make sure he's absolutely in an open spot. So there's a guy lurking, took the ball from him.
Yeah, so don't wave your arms, right, as a receiver if you're not wide open.
Got to know that you're open. Otherwise, just don't do it.
No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Toss play, Connor. And he'll get this up past the 5 to the 7-yard line. Carl Joseph up from his safety spot to make the play.
Detroit!
So if you've been playing defense in this one, there's a little bit of the good and some bad, because they did give up the touchdown run to him earlier, but shut it down otherwise.
Outside of that, you're exactly right. I would say they've contained him very well. On 3rd down, Johnson. He's going to have the 1st down past the 20. And finally taken down at the 26-yard line. That good for 19 and a 1st down.
That's quite a spot there for his first carry of the game, but obviously they had plenty of faith in him, didn't they?
No question about it. And here, why not go with the fresh legs? Able to push forward, pick up that 1st. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. They get 9 yards back on the run there, and they're left with a much more makeable 3rd and 2.
No, check. Patriot! Patriot! All right, here we go. 3-19! 3-19!
On 3rd down, it's Connor, and he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave him with a 4th down.
It's interesting going into this game. There was so much talk from both sides about who would control the line of scrimmage. I think we've seen who has it in this one so far.
Well, they bottled him up. He's barely averaging over 3 yards a carry right now.
Partner, when you see a running play stop short like that, you just know that the defensive front They won the battle of leverage and created a push back into the opposing backfield.
And for the offensive coordinator, whether you had 1 yard to go or 20 yards to go on fourth down, now you're probably saying, oh, maybe I should have passed it, right?
Yeah, hindsight is always 20/20.
The first play of the drive there is incomplete. And he was hit as he threw it there, and it forces it incomplete.
Well, we always talk about how you've got to be quick when you go through your progressions, and here's another prime example. Trying to look downfield, he was standing in the pocket, but just couldn't find anyone open, could he?
No, not enough time. They hit him and forced that incompletion. And this one is incomplete. Sammy Watkins, the intended target, and it's third down. They're going for a receiver there. Already has 1 touchdown in this first half. A second one not to be.
I like where their headspace is, though. I mean, I really like the thought process, right? You got a guy who's already scored one, right? You want to go back to him, continue the hot hand, and make them adjust to you defensively. I like what they were trying to get done, even though they weren't successful.
That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field and it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense, because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
And McManus able to put it through. And they will move up by 10 now, 17-7. Now, bottom line, tremendous starting field position, really squandered there as they wind up going backwards and then come up with just 3.
Well, getting the 3 turned out to be important. I can imagine the head coach when he ordered the field goal. Please salvage something out of this drive. That was not fun to watch.
The Steelers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And last time we saw them go for it in kind of an unusual situation. It's not like it's a fourth quarter do or die. They went for it, didn't get it. We'll see how that affects them this go around.
Partner, I'm wondering if we're starting to see the effects of analytics coming into play here, where people are studying the number of possessions, how many times you should go for it, what position it leaves your team in. Maybe we're starting to see a little bit of that creeping into the NFL game.
Yeah, I think we've seen it in other sports, maybe into the NFL now as well.
All right, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
Second and 10, Rudolph again. Forced out to his left. And avoids the contact by sliding. 12 yards that time at a Pittsburgh first.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the third one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Rudolph looking to throw. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
It's a lot of contact going on there. And in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up second and 10. On second and 10, Rudolph. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight. Unable to find anyone open.
And the Steelers on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is third and 10.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
Play action. It's Rudolph. They'll roll him out right. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 47. And they will set up shop at their own 46-yard line.
Man, we see a lot of quarterbacks try and do this. They get out of the pocket, they get in trouble, and they try and force the ball into their star receiver to make a play, sometimes whether he's open or not. And I think this time, is definitely an or not.
And he'll get this one across midfield and down into Steeler territory. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to second and 4. This way down deep into enemy territory. A big hitter. That one goes for 40 yards.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
He'll get it up the middle. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere.
Early down stuffs will put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
His throw incomplete.
I know every offense wants to start their snaps closer to the goal line, but it's actually harder to throw the ball in those situations. You throw into that tight coverage, you see what happens. Hard to get the ball in there.
Not enough space there. Lucky maybe that it wasn't intercepted. Here's Carr to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And a big loss here as he's taken down. So a minute 56 to play in this first half. Back with more AFC playoff action after this timeout. And McManus able to put it through. And that will open the lead up now to 20-7. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
And now out come the Steelers. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. So he was past the line of scrimmage when he threw it.
And as they say, that's a no-no. Got to be able to understand where you are on the field and not cross the line before throwing the ball downfield.
So the illegal forward pass also costs him a down, and now it's 2nd and long. Out of the gun, Rudolph. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. So a good spin move there before he's taken down. A nice little gain. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave them with a 4th down. They're going to run. Here's Connor. And this is going to come up well short as they stop him on 4th down. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And the Raiders with the football now in excellent field position. On 1st down, this is McCaffrey. And they've got it in the red zone now, down at about the 19. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the field.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. A great play there. Scampering home from 19 yards out, and the Raiders add on to their lead. Oh, it's a fake. They'll try and throw for it. It's a wobbler, and it's intercepted. Defenders giving chase, but I don't think they're going to get there. The 20, 10, and he takes it all the way back. It's a pick 2, if you will, as that play backfires in a big way. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Steelers offense now, they head back onto the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And this carry not as productive. He's swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. It was Maurice Hurst who got him down. Now they got to get to the line quickly. On 3rd down, it's Connor. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. Now whistles, and the Raiders are going to signal for a timeout as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. The offense stays put. They failed twice already in this first half, but they're going to go a 3rd time here on 4th down.
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19. 56. Lucky 56. Gone, gone.
They are going for it. It's Rudolph. And that's going to be incomplete. 12 seconds. From the 32 now. Here's 1st and 10.
29.
They'll give it up to McCaffrey. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see.
Go, Chief.
On play action, it's Carr. Going to throw deep for the end zone. And this is caught by Watkins. Touchdown, Raiders. Sammy Watkins as time expires in the first half. And the Raiders add 6 to their lead. And they're able to up the lead by one more. So it's on to halftime in this AFC divisional round matchup as we send you cross-country to Orlando. Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. Out comes the Raiders offense. They'll go on offense first to start quarter number 3. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Thank you, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to Oakland, California. Straight ahead, we punch the second of 2 tickets to the AFC title game, and we've got a great one in store between our visitors and the Oakland Raiders. For a berth in the AFC Championship game, off we go in the divisional round of the NFL playoffs. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. They start with a give to Connor, and not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. A gain of 3, second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here's Connor. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a third down.
And there's the first tackle of the game for Carl Joseph. He's one of those safeties that you can utilize in any way you want. But I will have to say, I think the number one thing he does best is tackle.
On third down, that's Connor. And a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. On 4th down, here comes the Steeler punter Jordan Berry to kick it away. Back to return it, Christian McCaffrey. Fielded at the 20. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. First carry of the game for Christian McCaffrey. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on 2nd down.
This down to the 40-yard line, tackled there. The pickup goes for 16 and a Raider 1st down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
Wide open is Watkins. He's got it. And they move this all the way down to the 9. A gain of 32 that time.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a 1st down.
Carr going to throw. Now he'll escape to his right. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's 2nd down.
Well, he did a nice job keeping his eyes downfield, waiting for someone to get open. But once the pressure forced his eyes down to see the rush, it was time to make a break for it.
From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. They get it to him running left. And he's over the line and in for a Raider touchdown. Orleans Darkwa taking it in from 2 yards out, and the Raiders have taken the early lead. And that makes it 7-zip Oakland. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And the Steelers set to take the field. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win 1st down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on 1st down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. Don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
After the loss to start out, here's second and 11.
Gone! Here we go now. Green 39. Green 30.
Rudolph throwing on second down, eluding the pressure right. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a third down.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
On third down, that's Connor. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. Give him 3 yards there as that'll take us to fourth down.
Fourth and short, partner. I mean, this would be a really risky call. Here we are in the first quarter.
On your own side of the field.
Own side of the field. But, boy, what a tone setter that would be to go for it and get it, wouldn't it?
Getting gritty today. I like it.
I'm feeling it.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. A curious decision to go for it, but it pays off with a first down. The fourth down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down. The first carry now. This is Johnson. Thank you, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to Oakland, California. Straight ahead, we punch the second of 2 tickets to the AFC title game, and we've got a great one in store between our visitors and the Oakland Raiders. For a berth in the AFC Championship game, off we go in the divisional round of the NFL playoffs. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. It's Connor as they stay on the ground. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber who runs like this early because they will pay dividends as the game progresses.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
We all have habits. They can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on 2nd down and short. What I like to say.
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
No, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
They'll run for the first time with Johnson. And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. They'll try the air now. Here's Rudolph. And now he'll tuck it and run. And he'll slide down to avoid the contact. The Steeler first down on the pickup of 11 yards.
Man, defensively, that hurts. They got him out of his rhythm. They had him hemmed in, but somehow he was able to tuck it away and get away for a gain.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Past the 20. And all the way in for the touchdown. A big play there. 50 yards. And the Steelers have taken a first quarter lead. So, wow. I mean, that'll quiet this crowd, right? A big one there on the opening drive of the game.
Yeah, you have to be thinking, we're at home for the playoffs. That had to be a splash of cold water right in their face, don't you think?
Yeah, they got to be thinking, we're going to have to work on this and do so in a hurry. Boswell good with the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. Now it's Wilson. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at their own 26.
Gun! Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19. Over.
And he's going to be stopped here on this first play as he gets it to the line of scrimmage and no more. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. Now this time he'll look to throw. Flushed out right. Taking a shot for Samuel. And that's caught inside the 35. And he finally goes down at the 23-yard line. A big play that time for the Raiders. And even 50 yards. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. On play action. Now Carr. And that's going to be caught for a Raider touchdown. In for the score. And the Raiders, they're within an extra point of tying this thing out. And, partner, they found a gap there on the post pattern, and it was in the middle third of the field.
And that's really difficult to do because ordinarily the safeties are back there to prevent that happening. But they found the opening and exploited it.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Steelers offense gets ready to get back onto the field. And that last drive, it was all about the ground game, ground and pound.
And I don't care how we're playing the game these days, offensive linemen still want to fire out and smack the guy opposite them and move the football on the ground. They feel better about that. That's what they want to do. That's how they want to play, and that's how they got it done.
Yeah, they got it for a touchdown last drive. Let's see what happens here. That good for 22 and a first down. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10.
Here we go now.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Back-to-back stops make it 3rd and 10. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
Now let's go.
Throwing on 3rd down, here's Rudolph. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. It'll be a gain of 17 and a Pittsburgh first.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 4 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 1.
And that's one of the reasons we like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the 2nd level.
All right, here we go. 319. 319. Detroit.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. And he's going to be taken down right at the line. Call it no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1. So on 4th down, the Steelers call on the number of Chris Boswell for the field goal try. Spotted at the left hash, this from 45. And he missed it. That was neither far enough. It wasn't even on target. It's no good. And in this first quarter of play, this will remain a tie ball game. So a bit of a weird kick there. That wasn't an overly long attempt, but that never had a chance.
You almost wonder if he might have maybe got that one on the laces because it kind of knuckled on him a bit. And this one winds up in empty possession.
The drive begins with a run by McCaffrey. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a 1st down. Back to the ground on 1st, it's McCaffrey. Shifts past him at the 45. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. 14 yards is the pickup there and a Raider 1st.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and put the defense back on its heels.
They fake the handoff. Now Carr. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. T.J. Watt in there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked.
White.
On 2nd down, here's Carr. That's caught out left by Perriman. He got 29 yards that time.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
Carr now already over 100 yards passing in just this first quarter. It's 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the 2nd and the 3rd level.
On 2nd down, McCaffrey. And able to work his way down to the 16. 8 yards there on the carry, and now they're left with a much more manageable 3rd and 3.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Carr going to try and throw on 3rd down. And he finds a man. It's McCaffrey. And he picks up the first as he's able to take it down to the 7-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. They'll try to run with McCaffrey. And he'll be stopped up after only a couple of yards as he gets it down to the 5. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
They'll give it to him up the middle. And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. It'll go as no gain on the play, and now they're looking at a 3rd and goal. McCaffrey. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. A great effort there. A 5-yard touchdown run. And the Raiders are able to cash in for 6.
But he decided to run it in and got it done on 3rd and goal. A lot of times that's a passing play.
And the kicker just has to come out for the PAT. He can breathe a sigh of relief as well, right?
Although I don't know if he's really breathing a sigh of relief. I think he likes to put 3 points on his ledger.
To return, here's Chris Conley. And not a bad return. Here he gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Steelers offense now, they head back onto the field. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. But let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. And they come back now, start over again, and grind it out.
And he takes it all the way down to the 28-yard line.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. They run with Connor, and only able to muster a couple down to about the 27.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And it'll be 3rd and 10 now. They missed a field goal on their last drive. Here they need something to even get into field goal range on 3rd down. Rudolph, flush to his right. Open man, Smith-Schuster, it's complete. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. A first opportunity for the Steelers in the red zone. They've got a 1st and goal just inside the 5. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line. 2nd and goal. Shotgun snap for Rudolph. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Get your backs to the goal line. I can hear my high school coach right now. This is when force meets force. Got to be physical in order to win this battle.
Yeah, that's where the physicality pays off. A nice job forcing the contact and forcing the incompletion.
Yeah, Coach Ford would have loved that play.
On 3rd down. That's counter. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to bring up a 4th and goal. And Boswell's kick is good. And they'll cut the lead back down to 4 now at 14-10. So he gets a shot at atoning for the earlier miss here in the first half and able to knock it through.
And what a relief for him, don't you think? Because how many games have we done where kickers missed one early and never gotten a chance to atone for it the rest of the game? That's a lot to carry around.
So out come the Raiders. That last drive, it was a good mix. Run, pass, defense on their toes.
And what really helps out in a big way is when you're doing the run-pass mix and everything's working, that means that they're guessing wrong every time on defense. They think you're going to pass when you run and vice versa. I would continue that, and when they finally draw a bead on you, maybe you mix it up a little bit, a little play action and throw the ball. And
will they maintain that balance? Time to find out. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30.
You're mine. 694. 734.
Carr to throw on 2nd down. Escaping the pressure right. And his pass incomplete.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of. Otherwise, he was going to get sacked.
So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6.
637.
To throw, it's Carr. Dancing to his left. And that one drops incomplete as he got popped as he was throwing it.
These two offenses have gone up and down the field so far in the first half. Finally, I say, here's a stop on 3rd down.
And no move to pull Carr and the offense off. They're going to go on 4th down.
Get down. 185. 734.
They do go for it. It's Carr. That is caught. It's Perriman. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. 4th down conversion plays, you usually think 1, 2, 3 yards, maybe 10. Not there. What a huge pickup as the Sticks make a drastic shift forward. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10.
734.
Carr now on 1st down. And he'll dump this off to his running back, McCaffrey. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. So a minute 56 to play in this first half. Back with more AFC playoff action after this timeout. This is McCaffrey on the give. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, forget about finding a lane there. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Probably fortunate he was able to hold on to the football.
637.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to get this one down inside the 15. They get 9 yards back on the run there, and they're left with a much more makeable 3rd and 2. The Raiders on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2. They'll try and pick it up with McCaffrey. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
And McManus able to put it through. And that moves him up by a touchdown now at 17-10. Still a little bit of time left here in the second quarter, but they do get 3 before the half and expand that lead.
And they have to be happy about that. And we haven't met a team yet that doesn't put an emphasis on trying to get points on the board in the last 2 minutes of a half. They'll be real excited to have those up on the board.
Out comes the Steeler offense now, ready to see what they can do here. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Final 17 seconds of the half here as they come up to the line, 1st and 10. The drive will start with Connor. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. Now before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout, as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
All right, here we go. 3-19. 3-19. No. Check. Patriot.
On second down, here's Rudolph. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. Now a timeout. 7 seconds left in the first half. And the Steelers on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get nothing out of that one. And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with 4th down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens. A final shot before the break, Rudolph. And this is incomplete. So it's on to halftime in this AFC divisional round matchup, as we'll send you eastward to Orlando. Standing by with that EA Sports halftime report now is Jonathan Coachman. Take it away, Coach. Win or go home, that's the name of the game, and we're back underway with the second half of this AFC divisional round. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Out comes the Raiders offense. They'll go on offense first to start quarter number 3. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking, because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. The best way to do it, touchdowns.
Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones and a first down.
On any given pass play, you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. On this play, he was flushed to his left, still on the run, able to accurately throw the football for a nice first down.
Go, Chief. What's up?
On first down, Carr. eluding the pressure right. He's going to look deep for Watkins. It's caught inside the 25. And that one results in 35 yards.
Sometimes it's designed, and sometimes you just have to know when to leave the pocket and move and make something happen. And on that play, he was able to get on the run and was still accurate throwing the football.
Carr now to throw. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. Clearly wasn't outside of the tackle box. There's your penalty.
And accompanying that penalty, a loss of down.
They lose the yardage, and, of course, they also lose the down on the grounding call, and it's quickly second and long.
694.
Now a play fake. Carr. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. It'll be a pickup of 15 as that'll lead to third down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that's going to make it fourth down. And McManus able to put it through. And they double him up here. That makes our score 20-10. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
Time for the Steelers offense now to get set for their first possession of half number 2. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll push his way forward to about the 32. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
Again, it's counter. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
And that's a nice pickup of a first down on that second down run. And at that yardage gained, they can run that play on any down.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. Now it's Rudolph. He'll buy some time right. Going top shelf for Smith-Schuster. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off by Carl Joseph.
Okay, it's real simple to say from here, but we know that sometimes as a quarterback, you've got to know when to say when and just throw it away. Flushed out to the right, tries to make something out of nothing here, and he winds up floating one downfield that gets intercepted.
And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. He's going to loft one deep left side here. Now the defense loses him. It's complete. And all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. As his guys are in for 6. And the Raiders add on to their lead. And the lead will grow by 1 more. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Here's Conley. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. Rudolph going to lead the Steelers up now, first and 10 at their own 26. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. Give him 6 on the play, and it'll make it second down.
Watch him now, Barney.
Rudolph looking to throw it. Looking left side, that's caught by Landry. Now the ball comes loose, and he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here.
Watch him now, Barney.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Third and 2, Rudolph. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on third and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
And that is going to be pulled in one-handed. Wow. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
Tell the truth, partner. You didn't think he was coming down with that one, did you? Come on, tell me the truth.
No, I didn't. I'll tell you what, though. A one-handed grab of that length. Talk about giving your team a little juice.
Oh, big time. I mean, everyone's going to be excited about that one, whether you're on the field or not. It permeates its way through the entire team, and I can't wait to see what they do on the next down.
Over the middle, held in by Smith-Schuster. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be second and 8.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
Here's Rudolph now on second down, being chased out left. He's going to go up top for the end zone. Oh, he almost had it for the pick. A great chance there for the interception in the end zone. Instead, third down. And the Steelers on third down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This is third and 8. Out of the gun, Rudolph. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
They'll run it now out of the gun, and they see right through that defensively, as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. They'll wind up losing 4 yards on the play, and that's going to make it second and 14. They'll fake the handoff. Now Rudolph sliding out of the pocket. McConnelly's got it over the middle. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Chris Conley from 17 yards out. And the Steelers are able to close the gap just a bit. Extra point put through by Boswell. Back now here on EA Sports. It's the Steelers with the football, but trailing here as we get going in quarter number 4. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Now it's Wilson. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense get the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3 and out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
Carr now on first down. He'll drop it off to McCaffrey. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. It's a 4-yard pickup, and it'll bring up a second down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Now Carr throwing on second down. Throw left side complete. That's Griffith. His first reception of the divisional round matchup, but it's good for a first down as well. Well, probably the only thing he did wrong there was go out of bounds, nursing this fourth quarter lead. You want to stay in, eat the clock.
Yeah, you got to love the effort, the catch, the extra yardage, but you got to know the situation. Stay in bounds, young man.
He takes this for about 6 down inside the 40. I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge. Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
29.
Carr looking to throw on 3rd and 2. He's going to float this over the middle deep. And that is caught one-handed. Oh, my, he pulled it in. And all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. 3rd touchdown pass now for Derek Carr. And the Raiders add 6 to their lead. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Steelers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Now he's got a man complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. That goes for a gain of 31.
Detroit! Gone!
Here comes a first down throw from Rudolph. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And a loose football. And his guys are going to take over at their own 48-yard line.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 47. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, this is by Thema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. That goes for a gain of 31. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. They go play action here on first down. Flushed out right. And that's off the mark, incomplete. How good has he been throwing the football, though? And despite that incompletion, that's just the 3rd time he's been off target this entire game.
And, Brandon, I've been on the other side of this equation, trying to defend a guy who's been this hot, and it chips away at your confidence. And when you're not confident when you're trying to defend, it makes you slower to the football, and it leads to more completions for them.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the 4th, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and go like turtle at this point. You can just go ahead and play.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down. Now the Steelers put a stop to the action with a timeout defensively. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. On 2nd down, here's Carr. Flush to his right. And that will be caught, but out of the end zone, says the field judge. It's ruled incomplete. Sammy Watkins, the intended receiver. And now it's 3rd down.
We're good, we're good.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And a short pickup there down to about the 9. And the Steelers signal for another timeout. That's going to be their 2nd. They'll be left with 1 more plus the 2-minute warning, and we'll be back. So now here comes the field goal team for the 3rd time today. From the left half, should be a fairly easy one here. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Steelers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy